Would you buy a car without giving it a test drive? For most of you, the answer is no way. But just because you're taking a test drive doesn't mean you're getting the most out of it. Sharing his expertise, Brian Moody, the executive editor of Autotrader.com. He's at the New York Auto Show today. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Mary. Good to see you.
Hey, it's good to have you back. When it comes to test drives, help us appreciate the importance of taking them before buying a car.
Yeah, you know, a test drive is important because, let's face it, cars are getting more and more expensive, whether it's a new car or a used car. You got to go on a test drive because you want to make sure that your $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 or even $10,000 is going to be the best car for you. You don't want to make a mistake with that much money.
Well, listen, I'm not buying a pair of jeans. I don't care how much they cost without trying them on. So I can only imagine why somebody wouldn't take a test drive. And you put a list of the 10 cars that are must test drives for 2016. What's on that list?
Well, you know, we drove a lot of cars. We put thousands of miles on these cars. We added up our scores at Autotrader. We voted, and we only considered cars for the list where we could unanimously agree, like the Chevy Malibu, for example. Great looking, great handling, and has this feature that I absolutely love, and that's Apple CarPlay. It's a gotta-have feature. The Fiat 500X is another one, a compact SUV that feels surprisingly luxurious on the inside. And the Honda Civic, everyone knows that as an economy car, but this newest version feels nothing like an economy car. It's nice inside. Then there's the Lincoln MKC, by far the best luxury compact SUV on the market, a really great car. We also like the Subaru Legacy. This is one that we really like. It's surprising because you might not think of Subaru as a car that would be on your list, but honestly, it should be. And then finally, there's this Kia Sedona. This is the minivan that we really like. Looks great on the outside, but on the inside, you got to check this thing out. For a minivan, this is surprisingly luxurious. I mean, the materials are great, the leather is nice, reclining seats. You can even get one that has a footrest here. So this is the kind of car that we think is really great. Excellent van all around, to be honest with you.
Well, if we're narrowing down choices, right, when you get to the car lot and you're like, oh my gosh, where do I even start? My head's spinning. Do you have any advice for what to do as soon as you arrive at the dealership?
You know, by the time you get to the dealership, you really should have narrowed your choices down quite a bit, to be honest with you. You should do your research online, read consumer reviews, read expert reviews, and then once you get there, you want to pick between just a handful of cars, maybe a Ford or a Chevy, or maybe the Camry Hybrid or the Prius. Those are the kind of choices you want to make when you get down to the dealership so you can feel them, get inside, touch the surfaces, and that's when you're really going to make your final few choices.
I know you've had a chance to walk around the show there. What are some of the biggest reveals you're seeing?
Well, some of the biggest ones are kind of surprises, like there's a Maserati sport utility vehicle now. That's called the Maserati Levante. Starts at a surprisingly low price, $72,000. I know that's a lot, but we expect it to be much higher. There's also the new Nissan GTR. That's over $100,000, but what a great performance car that is. Also, the Camaro ZL1. It's a terrific Camaro. It's sort of like the ultimate Camaro, let's just say. I could see you in one, 640 horsepower. How many tickets do you think that'll get you?
Holy cow.
640.
I guess if you're trying to turn heads, that'll do it. Are there any other trends that are surfacing that you feel like, man, that's going to make a difference in the way people buy cars or the way they drive, anything like that?
Yes, I'll tell you the one car, and this is ever since I tried it, Apple CarPlay. I will never buy a car without that feature now. It is so seamless, it works so beautifully, and it keeps your eyes on the road. You don't have to think. It just works so intuitively, and it works the way you would expect each and every time. Just an amazing feature. Give
us one website, if you would, Brian, with more information either about that list we talked about off the top or about the show, anything.
Yeah, you can go to autotrader.com/must-test-drive. That's where we have test drive tips, videos, articles on our full list of cars, the 10 cars, not just the 5 we talked about here.
That's easy. Brian, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yep. Great, thank you.
Mike?